Hey folks, how y'all doing? Welcome to a new segment for the channel. This is movie review. We have a new thing going on. Every time a fantastic movie comes out in the cinema, we're going to be doing a little review on it. I'm inviting people to join me for it, whether they're friends or people who are watching the channel, bits and pieces here and there. This first one is going to be on D&D. I have 5 sections to read out, which we'll go through as we go through it. There'll be a bit more of why we're basing it like this. And at the end of it, we'll be rating it out of 10 cheese balls. But join me for this one. I have Gary.
Howdy.
And I have Mel. I can't hear you. Oh, okay. This is going great already. All 3 of us watched the movie. Me and Gary watched it together 2 days ago. And lovely Mel watched it with her son.
Opening night.
Opening night. Special treatment. So the first section we're going to go through for this review is just general story of it. If you haven't watched it already, basic layout of the story is guy tries to stake a lot of money to get his wife back, gets locked up, spends most of the movie trying to get his daughter back because he fucked up. Briefly.
Yeah.
Now, the nice thing out of this first review is I have one person who is slightly against the movie and one person who is less so. So you guys are going to get a nice broad sense of opinions on this one. So who wants to start on how good the story was?
I'll let Gary start.
Okay. No pressure.
So, where do we begin? For me, I think the overall arc of the story made sense, but not for a movie.
Okay.
I think it would have worked better if they'd have broke it down into episodes for a series where they could build on the said story a little bit more rather than make it seem a bit wishy-washy and chaotic in places.
Yeah.
That's my overall take on the story. I would say quite subtle compared to maybe some of my later opinions.
Yeah. Or some of your initial opinions, to be fair with you.
Yeah.
Did you go into it thinking that you would like it?
I think we both did. Like, I think,
Yeah.
considering both me and Gary haven't watched anything D&D or really been involved in D&D until anything, like, except for this game that we've been playing now. Before that, I mean, I speak for myself, I guess, like, I didn't really have anything to do with D&D beforehand. I thought I'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
But again, because, and like, speaking of someone who hasn't got a broad knowledge of it, I thought I'd probably enjoy it more than we did, story-wise.
Yeah.
Again, and like you said, some of the stuff that we'll probably use as our reason for this, we'll cover in other other topics and stuff as well. But like, I couldn't agree more with like breaking it down to like a TV series, because like half the time I think the main plot line, main storyline was good,
in part
executed mostly.
Yeah.
But like the storylines for the other characters and like for the characters and everything kind of just felt really rushed and washed out compared to everything else.
Yeah. I think from reading up on the fact that they took a lot of inspiration from the game itself,
Yeah.
I would have expected it to have been done better.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Yeah.
And like,
I didn't really think about, like, when you compare it to the game itself, I do get where, because D&D I feel like is so much more character driven, so like not focusing on each person's story, I guess I could see that. Like hearing you say it makes me, but when I was just watching it, like my impressions watching it, I was like, this is awesome. Like I loved it.
We knew you would.
Yeah. I'm an easy sell.
We were walking back and we got Mel kind of loved it.
Yeah. But I think for me, it was mostly like, it was just really entertaining. And that's like one really big part of movies, is if it's entertaining.
Oh yeah.
It would have been great if they could have broke it up. Like it would have been cool if they could have made it into like multi-parts or had a series. But I think like as far as trying to put a like condense what would be like a campaign into a movie, I thought they did pretty good. But it would have been cool now, like hearing you say, I do agree, like to get the different, like, more detail in each backstory, because you don't get a lot about Holga, and she like had a whole thing, and yeah, that would have been. So I do agree with that. Like, it would have been nice to get more.
I'm gonna throw a question at you.
Okay.
If you weren't there with your son, do you think you'd have enjoyed it as much?
100%.
Yeah, to be fair, I
I
can
was
believe
like,
that.
so, like, I will say that my son coming with me was like almost an afterthought. Like, I was like, oh, I should like invite him. Like, he likes D&D too. I should bring him.
He's not gonna watch this, is he? Now knowing he's an afterthought.
It's fine.
Hi, Mel's son. You are not an afterthought.
You're the most important thing. I love you.
Yeah, you made the movie for Mel.
Yes. I don't know. I do think it might have been different because we were all jacked up to see it, and like the whole time I'm looking at him and I'm like, "Can you believe that?" And he's all, "My mind is blown." So that might have had something to do with it. Maybe a little.
No, absolutely. I think like, and I know it's not the right thing to compare it to because Last of Us is a completely different like genre of game, but like comparing it to the TV series they did for that and such a great job they did with it, building up the thing for the characters, building up for different things that was going on in that, comparing it to this just kind of felt like very, like I said, crammed, like compared to everything else. And I know, yeah, you're right, like trying to condense down a whole campaign into just one movie length of time. It was a good job for it. It just, again, felt like they really probably should have separated it.
Yeah, or maybe like had less main characters if they weren't going to give you as much information on them, because I did want to know more about each of them. Yeah, like they tried to shove a lot into it.
Like, as you put it, like if you compared it to the game, I just go back to the, again, as Josh said, I don't have a huge knowledge of the game. I've only played one campaign and died once already.
Finished that, yeah.
Professional.
Yeah,
we are pros. Yeah. Critical Role who?
Dude, you died already, mate. You're pro, all right? You're not pro until you die.
You do not know where he is yet.
That is true. That's how you know you're professional.
But
actually, we know where you are.
Yeah, that first session is all about who everyone is. It's that intro of what our characters are doing and maybe a little bit about the backstory of each character and how that will then shape the story of the game. And the fact that this was supposed to be taken from them playing the game and the characters that they played individually, I thought there would have been more of that to the story.
Yeah, because I think they played a D&D session before they did this movie, didn't they?
I think so.
They played their characters and stuff.
I think so, yeah. Because they have the actual stat sheets for them.
Yeah.
Online.
I haven't looked yet. I don't know if that's like been recorded or put out anywhere, but like that I would love to see.
Mm-hmm. Like, yes, that would have been
background.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know it's on D&D Beyond.
Is it?
It is?
I'm going to check that out.
I'll have to check that. What did you think of that opening scene, like before the movie started, where they're like, "You're the heroes for coming to the movies"? Did you have that there?
If I did, I didn't notice it.
No, I know, yeah.
You didn't have that? The whole cast sitting...
No?
Really? Okay,
maybe it's a States thing, I don't know.
Maybe it was just in America. So a lot of people here are complaining about that.
Why?
What they did is they took the whole cast and they had them sit in like chairs and they're looking at you and they go, "Thank you for coming back to the movies. The theater is a special place. You guys have, everyone else has abandoned it and you're the heroes for being here." And it was like this awkward, like almost lecture in the beginning. And that was weird. Right. It was a little weird. That's funny that you didn't have that.
No, I feel like we had something like, but I think the thing we had was like Cineworld doing it, wasn't it?
No,
I feel like I remember something with a mentioned hero at the start.
I'll be honest, the only thing I remember from the very start is the subtitles that said, "Yes, gust of wind."
Yeah, he booked it in subtitles. At least we knew who was talking the whole time. It was fine.
We knew if it's X-rated or not, language.
Yeah, that was true. Yeah. We walked in there. He was just worried about if they was going to have a guy in the bottom corner doing like, sign language thing for it as well. But like, but yeah, good. But just there was much more they could have done.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So sticking with that, I guess, moving on to the character section. Section 2. Yay. It's going so well. Character development, casting, backstory, etc. Who do you want to start on? Do you want to I've got an order of Edgin, that's Chris Pine.
Yeah, run through your list.
Yeah, we'll just go in your order.
So we got Edgin, Chris Pine. We've got Holger as Michelle Rodriguez. Zenk as Reggie Jean Page. Simon, Justice Smith. Dorix, Sophia Lillis, and Forge as Hugh Grant. Well, other way around. My bad. That'd be weird. Seeing Hugh Grant played by...
by Forge.
Yeah. But yeah, starting with Edgin. I like that's. I think out of all of the characters, I feel like that's the one, the backstory they did properly for it, which was not because it felt like his was more the main quest anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think
I
that
didn't
was
like
a smart
that. I don't like the
casting.
actor as much.
Ooh.
See, oh, that's
I wish they
surprising.
would have picked a different actor.
Who'd
I
you
have
pick?
some- Who would I pick? I'd pick you, Cheese.
Ah.
I don't know.
Wait, really?
I don't know who. I
Sorry,
would
Chris
pick.
Pine. I'm not taking your seat, dude. Don't worry. The idea
but-
that Chris Pine watches this sometimes she goes, "Oh no."
I like you, Chris Pine, as a person.
Yeah.
You're great in Wonder Woman.
What didn't you like about him for the for the bar?
I don't know, and maybe it's more the way they did the Bard, because
Okay.
he just was like a planny guy, like, so maybe it would have been better if they would have given him more like flavor. But for the character story though, I thought it was really good, and like obviously it was like the only one they really showed everything with.
Well, he was the A-lister of the movie, right? Let's be fair. He was the name. He was the selling point of the movie.
I think it was Hugh
beforehand.
Grant.
I was gonna say. I mean, yeah, I guess between the two.
Yeah.
Like probably from a
Yeah.
slightly
it was
older
Chris Pine.
demographic is
Yeah.
Hugh Grant, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Pine's the
So it made
Number one.
sense to center around his character a little bit more. Like I was surprised by how much I liked the casting of him. To be honest, I thought he did his part justice.
So what you're saying is you are not picking me over him. But...
I'm not
No.
No, okay. Just so we're clear on that.
Yeah, you know, from my knowledge of a bard, he was witty, he was funny. His one-liners made me chuckle at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, did he try a bit too hard to be funny? Maybe, but I think he was one of in the plus column. He was one of the ticks,
Mhm.
in
Yeah.
my opinion.
But I think again though, it's like because they developed him more than anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, I would say like for the going back to I guess the class thing, it's like they did the bard nicely and it was nice to see the songs and stuff going on. And when he was doing the song with Holger in the thing, I was trying to
Yes,
think,
that was sweet.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, like for us playing D&D and stuff, I was immediately trying to think like, right, if I'm ever a bard, I need to try and write a bunch of fucking songs that I can play. Which is
Yeah.
just type them up like, hey, we're running along, wonderful.
I was like, we need to find some jingles
Yeah,
so I
absolutely.
can just talking song.
Yeah.
And like, but I was trying to think like, it's not that much of the, and again, maybe it's just stereotypical or whatever from who we've played with, but there wasn't that much of the like seduction side of things with the bard.
But I
Yeah.
You
think-
know?
Yeah, but if you go to
It
the
was very-
story,
Yeah, I
Oh, yeah.
know.
I think
Wife,
They
kid,
always-
yeah.
they always had that plan of him and Holger maybe potentially getting together. I
Well,
feel like that was
I liked
always
how they weren't
subtly in there.
really.
I don't know
Yeah.
if it...
I liked that they didn't
Yeah.
get romantic.
Yeah.
Like, I liked that they both loved the kid so much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they were like a found family thing. I did like that.
Okay, so Holger, how
I
did you
loved
feel?
Olga. Perfect. Amazing, wonderful, wouldn't change a thing.
The
Favorite
complete
person in the
opposite.
whole
Yeah, I was gonna say I know both of these.
I thought the idea. I love Michelle
Great.
Rodriguez as an actress, and
I do,
I
yeah.
think she's been in a lot of good movies. But I think that was the most lazy piece of casting I've ever witnessed in cinematic history.
Wow.
Lazy.
I
Yeah.
may have to cut some of this out.
I know.
Just, you said get a beeper before this. I'm just going to bleep most of that out.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. She looked awkward playing her.
I thought she looked like a
I thought she
badass.
looked cool playing her. I thought
Like
like, and I
potatoes?
don't know, because like when she went to meet like the guy, I can't remember his name, but the guy she was in love with before I went
Bradley
into the house.
Cooper.
The actor. I can't remember the name of the character.
I don't know, but I just saw Bradley.
Okay, fair enough. But like, I thought she fit in awkwardly well with that, like because I mean, it should meant to be large in that house, right? And it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, I just
What didn't you like?
like she just had. I was watching her. It was just cringy at times, and I was like why? Just why? You could have picked.
Who would you have picked?
I'd go back. Gal Gadot would have played that role really well. Yeah,
It would have been too sexy.
but
Yeah.
I think they
I wanted
needed
her to
that.
be a big beefy lady.
Yeah, but
I mean, Michelle Rodriguez is sexy. Don't get me wrong, but
In the way that she could, kick your ass kind of way.
yeah, and like when she grabbed the stone, put it up over her head and beat the shit out of everybody, I was like, yeah, she was perfect. I loved her. Very girl power.
I'm with
Now,
Mel. I've Michelle Rodriguez. I've always got a soft spot for. She's
I
fantastic.
think I like seeing where it's not like bombshells in movies. Only.
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, not that, and I don't want to say that she's not. She is, but like, I feel like Gal Gadot or how to say it is like. Plus, like seeing her with Chris Pine.
Yeah, but I would have only said if they'd have changed the race of her to maybe something like orcish or half orcish, then yes.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
But because it was a human tribe, I don't think not that I'm saying Michelle Rodriguez isn't human, but I don't.
We're doing really well so far. Just Chris Pine, you ain't shit. Michelle Rodriguez, you ain't human.
Yeah.
God,
I just.
Maybe I'm not going to do this segment.
Was not a fan of that casting.
Okay. I think we're happy with the next one. Well, actually, we're going to skip ahead too because we need one that I think we're happy with. Doric. Are we both happy? Are we all happy with Doric?
Which one was he? I'm sorry.
The druid.
The druid.
The changer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was good.
Yeah.
Her character was good. She had a
Yeah.
little bit of background to where you could understand her.
Why she would join
character.
in and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. The only thing is that I felt like she like outbalanced a lot of them with how good she was.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I know druids are the best.
Not biased there at
So
all.
it's like it's hard.
It did make me fall in love with owlbears, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Same.
As soon as we walked out, we were like, Mel's gonna be trying to get that in.
Yeah, I'm already petitioning Cairo. I've already messaged her.
Good, because I might be joining you on that one when I get high enough level.
Yeah.
But in terms of like actress for them, I thought Sophia Lillis played like her face is wonderful for an elf. It's just nice and soft for an elf.
Yeah.
Or like joining that
Very
kind of culture and
petite
everything.
little,
yeah.
Like a.
Which was kind of nice contrast to the like kind of creatures she was changing into half of the movie.
Yeah.
And the mannerisms she portrayed as the character were really fun as well.
And the mistrustful of humans without it being like so I don't know against them that she wasn't happy to team up with them for this kind of occasion.
And you get a lot of her story.
Fantastically.
Yeah. You get a lot of that with her, which I liked. And like she communicated it without like a huge scene. Like you have the idea, then you look out and you see this devastated tree line, and it's like you buy in. Like you don't need this long
and although she responded in quite a serious nature at times, it had that little air of humor in there as well. Because the way she responded so bluntly was actually quite funny.
I liked that a lot. I think that actress pulled it off like specifically that.
Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
she was very good.
I think character-wise as well, in terms of like comparing her to Holger's like story-wise or whatever. Like I think probably one of the reasons that you're probably so against Holger and Michelle Rodriguez for it is like compared to Edgin, like she was the main character, but she was in there from the start or whatever, but she didn't have that much story development. But with Doric, like we kind of joined her seeing that, you know, she was fighting, like she's a little bit of a rebel.
Yep.
Could see why she was fighting. Joins in, we get her in love with Simon, we get these, well, not in love with Simon, you know, connected with that kind of side of things. See her changing stuff, see her develop later on, trustful of humans. Like with her, for one, like for a character who wasn't in there from the very, very start of it, like she probably the one who actually had the best kind of developed storyline.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice.
And I think Olga had the most interesting possible storyline, and they didn't go into it very much.
No.
Like she kind of was like this beautiful Chris Pine monologue about his story, and then I met her at a bar, and she helped me take care of my kid, kind of thing. And
and all you know about her is she left her tribe for a small person, and has
didn't do so well.
Yeah, has a subtle, you know, romantic taste towards small people. That's it. That's all you know.
But yeah, again, but like, okay, going back to those two, I guess, right? When you know you get him talking about his story when they're in the bar, and you get it again when they're at the, you know, trying to find the guy for the helmet, trying to find out where the hell it is. I was really optimistic that they were going to go into that much detail with every character, and it's just his. It's like, come on, you're trying to sell D&D in the races here. Come on, do it properly.
Yeah, and it would have been cool if they would have like. I was expecting like some kind of battle at her village or something like that. Like I was expecting her to have to like go into an arena or something. That would have been neat if they would have had.
Well, the graveyard they went to, was that not her ancestors?
It was,
It was her ancestors, but it wasn't her.
Yeah.
Like it would have been nice to see like
they've been dead like 100 years, or
but they could have built that. You know, it could have been almost, they could have opened up one of the graves and it could have been a recent tribes person or something like that.
Yeah.
The problem with that scene, as much as it was funny and it was nice to have that little bit of it in, I kind of felt like it wasted the opportunity to do some more storytelling by trying to have like a good chunk of funny bit in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved it.
I know you did.
Wow.
Telling us that there's a big fucking cutscene at the end.
That's
a big scene.
That comes in the viewer reaction part, right?
Yeah, exactly. That'll be at the end. Yeah. But like, like again, for Holger's one, you could have like done a lot more backstory there of like, you know, showing that she is a badass fucking barbarian, because like you don't really get to see her fight as much as, you know, to show off her class that much.
Yeah. You'd think that with a barbarian that you'd be seeing her like beefing out on people left and right.
Whereas like Doric, you kind of see it from the beginning when she's, you know, the warhorse, and then she's the owlbear, and then she kicks the crap out of everybody, and then you see it again later on when she's the spy fly, and then she's the deer running away and the rat and all this stuff.
I loved the deer thing. That was
cute as hell.
That was cute. Yeah.
But like they really showed off her abilities and everything. I just don't feel like they kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, you didn't get a lot of Olga's.
You just got the fighting style and the lack of
and the beefiness.
Speech.
The beefiness.
Yeah.
I think she tried to play the closed-off barbarian too much. I think that's the way, but that maybe wasn't her fault. That was more the writing of that character.
I think, again, that would have been fine if there was like 2 or 3 films.
Yeah.
Because then it would have been like it is in a D&D game, whatever, where the barbarian is, you know, badass and crazy and whatever, but the barbarian falls in love slightly, and you know, it's sneakily off to the side, they're doing this, and but still badass over here, you know. But like in one film, I think it was kind of too much to be like doing badass, house and upset because he's moved on, badass, and then finds another little man she wants to make her own, and but like compared to Doric or, you know, or Simon, where the development was a lot more, well, there, I guess.
Questionable.
Simon. I know. Okay, Simon. Would you like to start, Gary?
Now, in terms of the actor, I think he played the character role quite well.
Yeah, spot on.
You know, the awkward, sort of not confident in his capabilities, that
But easily persuaded kind of ish thing.
yeah, that almost like that teenage boy trying to find his way through life sort of thing,
Yeah.
that's not quite sure of himself.
Yeah.
Then he grows a set of balls, gets some power, and decides to not do anything with it. He takes the goddamn helmet off the minute he gets it. Like, what's the point?
No.
I hated Simon.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I didn't. I liked him. No. I agree completely though. That like I was expecting that to go farther. Like
Yeah.
I expected the helmet to be on the whole rest of the time and him just making shit happen the whole rest of the time. But I think he like he was able to go one-on-one with the
Safina.
red and so like that was I think supposed to be his like showing his power still, but I do think like that kind of fell flat. Like it wasn't the part that I felt like you pay attention to that whole
Yeah.
time.
They had a thumb war in magic terms.
And then what was
Like,
the little thing? The little wheel thing.
Little wheel.
Oh,
Like
I
that he
think
would turn?
I think that's an artifact you can get in game
Oh,
that
okay.
helps you change
Okay.
your magic.
That, or it's like, I know some spells and stuff require you to have a little thing, don't they?
Yeah.
Like some of the
Oh.
like the water breathing one requires you to have like a read if it's going to be going on for longer than an hour or something like that. So potentially it's that, but no, I know what you mean. It didn't really show exactly what it was.
Yeah, or like why you would use it as opposed to sometimes when you didn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wish it would have
Yeah.
been cool if that was explained a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And to be fair, again, like with same thing with the helmet, is like I don't know if that helmet is meant to be like, I don't know, like a one-use thing or specifically for negating magic or something.
I think
D&D.
they made it seem like it was supposed to be specifically for just like continual
negating magic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they made it seem. They like presented. I thought
Which
it was
like
bigger.
explains it a little bit why, you know, he didn't keep it on, I guess.
Yeah.
But like I know, yeah, when he's doing the vision and stuff with himself or what his grand or whatever, and he comes out of it and he is more sure of himself. There should have been like more oomph to his magic and stuff like that. But one thing I would say, like for that last bit, the hand thing at the end, is because the plan wasn't for him to beat her, is it? It's to distract her long enough for them to be able to put the thing on her.
no, but you think
Because
more
like, he doesn't know if he's but he doesn't know if he can kick her ass.
yeah, but you try, not make a
But if you
pebble
can
hand.
negate the thing, then kick her ass. You don't need to be like, you know, oh, can I beat her? I don't know, but I'll distract her long enough to do the thing.
You at least would showcase your powerful nature. Like, I think he as a whole encapsulates the likes of me and you that have just got into D&D and bumble our way through our character sheet a little bit quite well.
Yeah, really signing us
Yeah.
on it, but yeah, spot
Yeah.
on.
I think
You
that
guys are more than that.
Thanks.
she says, not knowing that I spent 35 minutes looking up my spell list for a radiant damage spell to not pick one.
Yeah. to not have enough time to do the rest of his backstory fully.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, like actor-wise, great for it.
Yes.
Good, like
Yep.
person, body, face, everything like that for it. Good voice for
And I
it.
liked
Good
that
everything.
he was not cocky, that he like didn't believe in himself and was
Yeah.
like stubbornly pessimistic. I thought that was
Yeah.
kind of funny
Yeah.
set against like all the other characters too.
Yeah. And then even at the end, it's not
Yeah.
like full confidence or whatever when he's asking Doric for another try. It's kind of that still a little bit of a
Yeah, like he's still a
uncertainty
person.
thing, and
Yeah.
it's kind of cute.
Yeah, it
But
was
yeah.
cute.
They took that sort of little bit from the bard sort of class in terms of that seduction romantic type and put it
Yeah.
in his awkward nature, which worked quite well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good. You're so
Yeah.
good. You're
Yeah.
right.
Okay, right. So that's like the four, I guess, main good ones. But you have Zenk.
Yep.
I didn't feel like was in it enough.
No, but I do specifically remember a conversation we had when we left about you saying that he was that NPC,
Yeah.
just like Nev in our game,
Yeah.
that comes in and
Who-
helps out every now and again and
Yeah.
then leaves again.
Yeah.
He's the paladin, right? Or
Yeah.
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 The
Okay.
The red
thing
wizard.
that wasn't a red thing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason,
They
like,
brought thing.
and I feel like you got more of
Damn.
his backstory than Holga's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you cared about I cared about his character, but I feel like he was too powerful to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in.
No,
Yeah.
100%.
I
And
liked when he
you did
walked
say,
away.
Yeah.
yeah, and walked over the
funny.
rock.
Like the minute you saw him, you had that internal feeling of, okay, something badass is going to happen because this guy's a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ends off with him stabbing a dragon in the head. So
Yeah.
it's like,
And
you
he
know.
like delivers the baby from the fish and like
Yeah.
is just this great
And before you
man.
even meet him, to be fair, like they're in that graveyard and everyone is saying they've heard of him, they've heard stories of him. It's like,
Yep.
okay, so this guy's going to basically change everything.
Yeah.
And like he did.
I liked
Yeah.
the idea too. Like I thought that because so Chris Pine's character, what's his name again?
Edgin.
Edgin.
Edgin. He was like had all this backstory why he didn't like these people, but it almost seemed like it was a personal thing, and it would have been kind of fun if the two of them personally didn't like each other. Like if they had known each other, I thought that would have been. I was kind of like disappointed when I found out it was just the race in general that he was like didn't like.
Like if I would imagine this as like a movie series, I could see Zenk getting a spin-off on his own, like with that sort of thing. Because again, they could have done way more with him, but I'm kind of glad that they didn't, because it leaves us wanting more from his character.
Yeah. And like if he had come in, the rest of them would have had nothing to do.
Yeah.
And do you think that if they would have cut him out completely, that it would have changed the story a ton? Like it almost would have been better to cut him out and have them fumble their way into that under.
Yeah, because if
he didn't, other than the fight with the 6 guys at the whatever when they're actually before the dragon or whatever, he guides them, you know, whatever through, and then they get to the bridge and Simon steps on the rock and destroys the bridge.
Yeah,
Simon's still the one who figures out a way to get over that afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, so it wouldn't, like, even if he had just given Edgin the book and told him like where to go and whatever, I don't think it would have changed much him not being there.
Yeah, because he doesn't even get involved at the end either, does he?
No, there's that little bit where he follows Forge or whatever, when Forge is like running away with his vase and he finds Forge there. Which again, like if there was I don't think they've said, I think they've said that there's not going to be a second one or whatever. They said that this is just like a one-off movie or whatever. But if there was going to be a second one, again, that would kind of make this feel a little bit less, you know, cut off at the knees, I guess.
Yeah.
But like with him to end the film off as well, it's kind of just like,
like why did you do that?
Yeah. We've paid you
How
this
cool
amount of
would it
money
have
to
been?
be in this movie. We have to get you in it again.
Yeah, we got to get all of our money.
that's what it is. Yeah. But yeah,
it would have been cool too if they went back to like Holga's village, and they had this like kind of battle-y moment, and then that's when they got like information. But they had to do like D&D campaign mechanics where they like have to fight and figure things out and ask people questions who have a little bit of information but not enough. Like that would have been more fun to watch and probably really funny to watch. Than
or even if, like, with that in mind, that Zenk could have been the DM as such, and it could have backed out at the end, and it could have been him sat at a table, sort of like pushing them across, and him giving the book would be his little way of pushing,
giving a hand to his party or whatever. That would have been fun, and it would have been kind of like for us. I know you said like, you know, what I said when we got out of there, of like he's that, you know, NPC who kind of walks away, who is the powerful one who pops up at the right moment. But like people who haven't played D&D, that's not going to mean anything. Like they're just going to see a character who is in it for like 5 seconds and then fucks off after he's giving them a book with a warning, a huge task, a bunch of unkillable people who chase them, and he fucks off. It's like, why the fuck is that guy going away? What the fuck is this about? But like, yeah, if it'd been like that at the end, and you know he's the DM for it, that would have tied things up much nicer.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
You should have written it.
Yeah, guys.
You definitely should.
I'll star it, okay?
You star in it. I'll watch it. I'll enjoy
it. B can do the art.
Right, that's good guys, I guess. So I suppose we should talk about the bad guys.
Yeah.
Forge.
I loved him.
I didn't hate him.
He was great.
I didn't hate him, but I didn't love him. I'm sort of on the fence. Like, I didn't hate
character him. Or like the actor and stuff for him, or
Both.
Because as a villain, I didn't like completely hate him. I thought he was, connivingly sneaky and whatever. It's like,
I
you little
hated him.
bastard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
but like, I thought Hugh Grant was great for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's enough that charisma side of things. And I guess, like,
Mhm.
we said about the bard not really showing it off in too many circumstances. He did.
Yeah.
And that's what he's good at. If
Yeah.
you look at his history in movies, that's what he's good at. You know, the whole Oscars thing where everybody's kicking off about him in that interview. That is Hugh Grant, and he was that in that character too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't
liked
hate
him. I thought that I don't think they could have changed that and done a
Yeah.
better casting.
No.
And then also, like, I think that they tried to pick Hugh Grant because he is somebody that people like love. Like,
Yep.
he's not typically the villain, and
No.
so he does like soften it a little bit. But
Yeah.
I didn't like his character. Like, I liked it, and I thought he was
Yeah.
a good villain in the way that I wanted him to fail.
Yeah. And what I really liked about his story was that at the start, when we thought it was Chris Pine narrating the story because he was stood in front of the judging panel and he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is my story. It actually turned out that it was him stood in front of the judging panel narrating the entire story, which I thought was quite clever. That was quite well done.
I didn't pick up on that.
Huh?
I didn't pick up on that.
When he does like the bit where, like, when they break out the window and they grab the bird to do it.
Yeah, and then he tries
And
to do
then-
it again. I
Yeah.
guess I didn't connect that it was actually him telling it the whole time.
Ah.
But, okay.
No, it's fine. You were still focused on that bit that you had at the beginning that we didn't. You
Yeah.
know? You still like, I'm
Yeah.
a hero. A hero.
Yeah.
I'm a hero.
Yeah.
I was too excited for the cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so minor villain, I guess, but Safina. Did you like?
Meh.
I feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was too weird. I feel like they tried too hard to make her like weird and creepy, and
Yeah.
like I
I'm
feel
not-
like a good villain hides it more.
She was just there. She just existed. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, because she was just the, I guess, henchman of the actual big bad.
Yeah.
And because, again, this is a one-off, like a one movie, it just feels shit in
Yeah.
that, like,
Yeah.
where's
Yeah, and
the,
they actually show the big. They didn't actually show him again.
No, you
No,
saw
they
the
get that
shadow.
little
He
shadow.
just in
Yeah, the
that
little
one
shadow.
shadow, just kind of
Yeah.
like, woo.
Yeah. And if they'd built on that,
Weird.
if they'd have built on that a little bit,
Creepy.
so we could
Yeah.
understand her a little bit more, because you see her in the flip scene when they're bringing in the beckoning of death the first time, because she stood behind one of the shields,
Yeah.
keeping them all in.
Mhm.
But other than that,
Yeah, and they don't really
No,
explain
yeah.
why she was the one who was
Yeah.
chosen, because she's just a
Yeah.
soldier. It
Yeah.
looks like she's one of many,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if she like died and then he came out or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
or if
Like a
they
big reveal.
if they'd hidden her identity as a red wizard longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you found out at the end when they were in the stadium and then she whipped off her and she had all the spells casted on her head, then we'd be like, oh my god, damn, that's why she's so weird. But from the start, you knew it.
The other thing I would say with her, though, and the Red Thayan, is it Thayans? I feel like it's Thayans.
Yes, Thayans.
Yes, Red Thayans.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it does also kind of, like, go back to the story thing from the start. It does take a huge chunk out of how good the story was written. Because I feel like, if you play D&D for a fair bit, you know what Thayans are and great. But, like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know really what their jam is. And we got that little bit when we were with Zank and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he like, when they do the flashback, the big bad has that red horn thing that she has in the film anyway. But there's nothing to say, like, why the fuck they had to do the heist to get that thing in the first place.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or what the hell happened? Like, if he is the big bad and he's got a whole army of people under his command, how the fuck did he lose the horn?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell happened with that, dude? But
almost
because it's
would
like
have
one
been-
film.
Cooler if they would have like had the beginning be just them trying to go get that with her tricking them, and then
Yep.
she takes over and is evil, and then the second half is them trying to fix what they did
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
take out the daughter stuff entirely.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
like, again, I mean, we'll go into it a little bit more in a second with the locations and creatures and stuff. But again, it kind of felt with the Red Danes that they were just trying to cram more stuff into the movie than they really needed to.
Yeah. Goes
But-
back. Yeah, it goes back to the story part of when I said they just tried too hard to put too much in.
Yeah.
I have a lot more issues with this movie than I thought I did.
I know. Yeah.
I'm
I
sorry.
genuinely thought I was going to come on here and Gary would be like 0, fucking 0, no 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, right. So that's like main characters. I mean, there's a bunch of other characters we could talk about, the daughter and other bits and pieces who felt them along the way and stuff. But that's like the main guys, but not bad casting overall. Like,
Well, if you want to go into the daughter a little bit, that was just obvious. Like you could see that coming from a mile away.
Which
No, I mean, like,
Her turning up at the end.
maybe you
I'm more
couldn't
meant
see
just
that
casting
coming
and
from a mile
development.
away.
Yeah.
There might have been some people who were really surprised by that.
Yeah.
Mel's just making a pun because she was invisible. She's just really
Yeah.
funny. That's
Yeah.
You couldn't see it from a mile away.
Like that was the first thing we said when we left. Was okay. It was,
I didn't see that coming at all.
we both picked up on the magic cuffs underneath, and
yeah.
instantly
When
once
they're
we
like
see
they're
the
freeing
magic cuffs,
themselves. There's like 4 of them on the wall.
Yeah.
It's like that's gonna get used later on.
Yeah. And
I
Egan
didn't
was
see
like,
that.
"Just protect yourself with your invisibility. Don't come out until I tell." Okay, yeah, you're coming out.
Yeah.
I thought she was just gonna go hide. And I was like, me and my son both were like, oh my god, she's such a badass right at the end. Like we were shocked. We were shocked.
You're adorable.
Well, I'm glad they got the design effect from somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Me.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably loads of people they got that effect from.
Maybe we just watched too many movies. Maybe. That's what it
Maybe.
is.
I mean, like, to be fair, after the film, like Gary did say, like, he was in review mode for it. He had like a notebook in his bag ready to.
I did.
You had a notebook?
I did.
He didn't use it. I want to be clear. But...
I
I
did. I
almost
was.
brought one with me,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to with my son. I
Yeah.
thought about going back and watching it without him and like seeing if I could be more critical, but I
Yeah.
didn't.
No, I think if I
think
did
that
that,
was
I'd walk
good.
out halfway through.
Maybe. Like, that's the thing with it. It's like, we'll go over the bits and pieces at the end.
Yeah.
It was a good film, but... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, right, we'll
was a
we'll
great
get to
film.
that onto opinions and stuff. Yeah, it's a great film. Locations, creatures, atmosphere, effects and stuff.
Yeah.
How did we feel like it was done well?
I thought that it was beautiful. Like every like environment that you got was really pretty. Like I liked that a lot. I loved the creatures. I feel like they could have like put more emphasis on them. Like I didn't like that you just saw like it's like they crammed a bunch of stuff into the arena to like show you this is D&D stuff. Like it would have been fun to see a mimic another time.
Yeah.
Like, I was really excited about the mimic.
Yep.
I love the owlbear. And I thought that like Gary told me that his opinion on the graphics, and I was surprised.
Yeah. Some of it was done very well. Then I feel like they'd spent the budget and had to use 1970s robotic animatrix. So
No,
King, the Jonathan guy.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was he cross-eyed?
What?
Was
He
he
had-
cross-eyed after
he
you
had-
just flew through a blizzard?
Big, bulbous eyes that were shaking all over the place. The cat, the mummy cat, when Zenk took the baby out of the
Yeah.
Yeah.
giant fish, you look at the cat, you could tell that was the worst
Okay.
robotic cat imaginable.
Yeah. I
the
like
dragon.
Jonathan.
The dragon. Okay, the dragon.
You don't like the dragon?
Apart from the fact that the head was quite possibly, definitely the head from the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. The minute you look at it, you're like, I've seen that somewhere else. Oh yeah, T-Rex, Jurassic Park, and they've just put a big fat dragon's ass on the back end.
Same.
So, but I agree with the environment. The environment was beautiful, and the CGI they'd done for the locations was great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
some of
Like-
it was a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak to as much as you for like the graphics, everything else like that. I
Yeah.
did not notice that Jonathan was cross-eyed. I just,
I didn't notice that either.
I didn't. I mean,
was
you
so
said you were in
relieved when
review.
Jonathan finally showed
Yeah.
up that I.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like I know
Believe
you
it,
said
though.
you were in review mode, but fucking hell, mate! Like, I didn't. Like, when was it? When he walks into the room, or after he's lying on the floor after they've like jumped out the window?
No, so when when he goes to give him a hug,
Right. So
Okay.
when he's just walked into the room.
imagine. Now, my biggest fear that I'm even going to bring this up. Imagine Big Bird styled graphics,
Yeah. it's-
but black.
Yeah, it was very. It
Yeah.
was kind of Big Bird, and I thought that was a weird plan. Like that, like they didn't really. Jonathan wasn't in on it, right?
Nope.
No.
So like, why wouldn't he have just not flown them away?
Well,
Like,
they
I
did.
don't know.
They did.
Because he would
Yeah.
have died.
They did build on
No,
that.
but he could've
the
just
fact that he was
Put his wings out. and
he
fly
was the
back.
most vulnerable to their story. That's why he played the sub story so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Although, like saying that, playing the sob story, I feel like you would have waited 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Especially the dude just comes in and they've just stamped everything. Like, would you not have waited 5 seconds to hear?
Yeah.
Like, you've gone to the effort. You're a bard, and you're trying. Like, again, it would have been one of those things that showed off like the charisma side of things of the bard,
Yes.
because you've
Mhm.
convinced them into letting you and Holger go.
But
After
it
in your
kinda
story,
does go back to like D&D mechanics, where
yeah.
you know
So,
do
now
stupid
you've-
shit sometimes.
now you've
Yeah.
mentioned that. Why were they wanted again if they just approved their release?
Because they broke out.
They
But
broke
they hadn't
out,
broke
so
out
they.
because they already released at that point because they just let them go.
Yeah, but
I think, though, that
you used one of the dudes to jump out the freaking building. You broke out.
Like I think that
If you
they, like,
break out of a prison
retracted
and you
their-
haven't been officially let go, you've still broken out of a fucking prison.
Technically, if it's stamped, you're legally let out the prison at that point, right?
Yeah, but then you're charged with a new crime of, I guess, assault on an official,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
throwing them out
true.
of the building,
Okay. Yeah.
did-
True.
They did
and
assault
riding them to
Jonathan.
safety.
Assault
Poor
on
Jonathan.
a man in a suit.
yeah. Assaulting Big Bird. Sorry. No, I'm with you. Like
Big
the
Bird.
environments looked great.
Yeah.
Like when they were panning across for the ice fields and everything like that, they're really beautiful.
Yep.
And Neverwinter looked great.
Yep.
And the little towns and everything looked lovely, and singing their way across country looked lovely. The locations were gorgeous.
And the displacer beasts were beautifully done.
Very cool.
That
And like the
was
close
cool.
up, the close ups of them. I was so happy to Space Beasts. Like I love them in D&D, and
Mhm.
the amount of times I tried to persuade Pyro to let me have one is not fair at this point.
I think you may get your wish.
I hope so.
I hope we don't.
Just
if we
not-
don't see one.
Yeah, just
They're
not with
great.
you
They're fantastic.
as their friend. They may be
No,
more of an
she
enemy.
wouldn't. I maybe, but I hope she wouldn't do that to me. But no, like those were fantastic, and
Yeah.
like the mimic was cool. But again, it would have been nice.
Yeah.
And like
Well done, but it should have
Yeah.
been in there earlier.
yeah,
Yeah, and the
Again-
display, like it would have been cool to see them all out and like kind of get familiar with them, and
Yeah.
then have them like
Yeah.
pop up in the arena, and you kind of
Yeah.
have an idea at that point.
but like kind of like we said for like a lot of the film and everything like that, there was way too much like crammed into it. Like the amount of different creatures, the amount of different bits and pieces like that. And I know we said like, or you said that it felt like there was a lot more locations than there was, and it turns out there's only really like 4 locations in the film.
Yeah.
Because they didn't really focus on anything properly.
Yeah, because they didn't do the story right, and they crammed so much in there, it made it seem more chaotic than it actually was.
Yeah, basically, again, I said this to you when we walked out, but like the Underdark thing, I know that's a thing in D&D, but I don't know why it's scary. I don't know what the deal
Yeah.
really is with it, and I think again, like your suggestion of taking out Zenk,
Yep.
like if they
Yeah.
had been exploring it on their own, and then the audience and everyone else would be able to see like why the Underdark is dangerous, what the fuck
Yeah.
it is. I still don't know, and I like D&D, and we've played it enough 2 times now. And I have no idea what the fucking Underdark really is.
Yeah.
other than
Mhm.
dangerous.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was like a D&D location that they were
Yeah.
showing. I just
No.
thought it was a location that they
Yeah.
put into the movie. I wouldn't have known until like now that it was supposed to be like a callback to something else.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think my understanding of a lot of the locations in it were their separate campaigns. That was
Like
that was-
Baldur's Gate, that was cool that they like
Ah.
That was a cute little thing.
brought that
Yeah.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because we were just talking about it.
Yeah.
Mm.
But again, yeah, like most of it, it was good. It's just too much. Good, too much. We've done well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, section 4 then. Individual opinion. Who wants to start? Because I feel like we've quite clearly said what our opinions are at this point.
I liked it a lot.
There you go.
I thought it was
Just not
great.
happy.
I thought it was entertaining, and I think that like somebody, I mean, they're also like they're doing it for D&D fans, but also they're trying to make a ton of money. So it needs to appeal to a wider audience that also doesn't know. Like I know people who went and saw it and they're like, maybe we'll finally understand this whole D&D thing, and like have never played before and probably will never play before. They want it to be like a movie that a grandparent would take their kid to and enjoy it. I feel like they nailed that part. Like they made it from a like somebody who plays perspective. I think that they could have probably done better, but I thought it was a very entertaining movie.
Cool. You?
Did I enjoy it? Yes. Do I know why I enjoyed it? No. Would I watch it again? No. Yeah, it's one of them. You know when you
Why
have,
we started off happy.
yeah, when you have, it's like, okay, this is a very weird analogy, but imagine walking into a pub, finding you got your favourite beer, getting there, they put it in a glass and it's warm.
You are saying this to
Deep.
the person who is drinking tea wrong. So.
I already drank my tea
Is-
correctly. Thank you
It
very
is
much.
iced tea. But yeah, it was. I think it was so bad in places that it made it funny and enjoyable, because I still enjoyed it. I still came out thinking, do you know what? There were parts of that were good and made me laugh. And, you know, I remember saying that I could see niches to the characters within our parties when we're playing. And I think they did that bit really well to make you sort of put yourself in the shoes of the characters. But oh, actually, I've played this, and that's so and so. This is so and so. But yeah, I wouldn't be watching it again.
No, unfortunately, I'd probably say similar, but like from a maybe different standpoint, like I'd quite happily go and watch the second one, like whatever, if they do a second one of this. And I know they said they wouldn't, and I'd see a second one, and I probably wouldn't be as excited to see it, but I'd kind of want to see what happened in it.
Yeah.
But it's that thing of, and I think like going back to the very start of this, I'm more excited probably to watch the D&D of their the actor's actual game rather than the movie.
Yep.
Because you know
That would
there's
be
more.
really
Yeah. And I know it's a hard thing to turn into, like, I know I said last of Us at the start, but you're turning a game into a film. This is, yes, turning a game into a film, but it's turning a game that is very personal to a lot of people, or their own personal development, whatever, into a film. And I don't like, and that's the biggest thing. Like, where there wasn't that personal development for most of the characters, it didn't feel like the game.
Yeah.
It was a good enough movie.
Yeah.
Like, even if they hadn't called it D&D.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
if they'd have
feel
took,
like
if
it-
they'd have took the Dungeons and Dragons title from it and just called it something else.
Yeah.
Honor Amongst Thieves.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they just called it that, it would have been, I'd
be
have
like,
still
oh, yeah,
gone to
cool.
see it and been like, this is quite cool. Yeah, awesome. Great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I
You
wouldn't
didn't
necessarily
like
say.
the funky. Did you like the fat dragon though?
I didn't mind the fat dragon. I thought it was kind of weird. Like, but Dungeons and Dragons seems to have very odd creatures at fucking times. It's like, all right. I mean, although when he said about the T-Rex head as soon as we got out of there, I was kind of just like, yeah, I can't not see that now.
Now I'm gonna have
And-
to look at it.
Yeah, and like I'm gonna have to try and I won't see it again, but I'm gonna have to try and find a picture of Yargin to see if he is actually cross-eyed or whatever.
Yeah.
But
I-
like,
I agree with you. If they made a second one, I would watch it, but I wouldn't rush to the cinema to see
No.
it. I would watch it
at home.
when it came out on Netflix or something like that.
I would go watch it,
I know.
and
you
I'm
would.
gonna buy the movie. And I'm gonna watch it all the time.
Oh. And now
Did you
I
think-
understand the whole conversation we're having about American
Taste.
culture and taste.
Yeah, taste. We got shit for taste.
Yeah.
That's why you got the hero bit at the beginning. It's like your character's a
Yes.
hero.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
you're amazing.
Yeah.
They appeal to my ego.
If they'd have done that here, most people would have stood up and be like, "What the fuck are we about to
I don't
watch?"
fucking
I did
like
feel
this.
that way. I
Yeah.
was like, why are they doing that? Did you feel like it followed, like, I kind of thought how they would make a plan and it would fail, and they'd make a plan and it would fail. Like, I felt like it kind of did follow a little bit of like what you would imagine if you rolled the dice and how something might go. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like that. Like, I can imagine in our groups how many times we make a plan when we play, and we don't follow, and things go totally sideways.
Like, you could
And I thought
tell
that was-
the standing on the rock part on the bridge, that was probably a nat 1.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was like a couple moments like that
Yeah.
where I was like, okay, that would have been,
Yeah.
or like a failed perception check.
And I know we said it when we left, that bit with Holger and Edgin and the daughter when he chose to save her over bringing his wife back.
I
Again,
cried.
you knew it
I
was
know you
coming,
Knew you would have cried.
but it evoked an emotive response, even though you knew that was happening.
Yeah, I mean,
They wrote that bit very, very well.
because like when that happened, and like I saw you like going like that with your eyes.
I
was
also
like,
saw you do the same.
I know, yeah. I saw you do that, and I was like, "Good, I can do this now. I don't feel bad."
I was like openly crying, like weeping. I was like, oh my god, he saved her.
Yeah, it's just I'm turning. You got something in your eye as well, yeah.
To set the scene, there was about 7 people in this movie theater. It was us sat at the front.
Yeah.
There was a woman sat by herself behind, and then a group that clearly play a lot at the back.
And that was
Yeah,
it.
there was a group that played a lot behind me, and they hated it.
Yeah.
Which actually gets on to the nice bit of Pyro prediction, I guess. So Pyro, mute now, look away. I'll hold up a number 5 for like the last bit of the show, but Pyro, look away now. So we have a friend who is DMing our current game of D&D, and she's played, how many did we get to? 15 different campaigns?
Yeah.
Yeah, 15 plus different campaigns. Mixture of
It was amazing.
DMing them, characters them. She's wonderful. She takes on the characters really well. The voices that she does for them, backstory that she does for them, it's all wonderful and amazing. And I thought it'd be a fun thing to talk about how we think she would have received this, because we play, and all 3 of us have just started playing, and we're really enjoying it, and we're loving it. But she's into this in a higher tier,
High level. Yes.
So how do we think Pyro will watch this and go, yeah, that was fan-fucking-tastic, or what the fuck is this shite? Because honestly, I think she's not gonna take it well.
Hate it.
Yeah. I think she'll think that it was like rushed together.
Yeah. She
I
feel like it hasn't done the game justice.
No. And like I didn't realize there had been a D&D movie before we maybe had to watch it, and you said that there had been another one before. And like I think she'll look at it like in the sense of, right, this was another chance to try and,
Do it right.
start a new series here, or start, because like if they had done it right, the scope you have to do so many different fucking things with this is just limitless.
Well, you could arguably create campaigns for the movie and then sell them on D&D Beyond as campaigns for people to play.
Yeah, like from a money making perspective. Yeah, money making perspective, it would have been fucking easy to do.
Yep.
Like all the memorabilia shit you got with it, like you said, the dice and everything you could have bought in the cinema for it. I do kind of wish I'd bought some of those, to be fair. And I didn't even like the fucking film.
Did and this is based on a like book, right, or a campaign?
I think it's based on their
campaign,
I believe. Don't quote me on
their
it, but I'm
playthrough.
pretty sure they played a playthrough of like a campaign, whether it's a one shot
And they just
or
'cause
something.
I thought that there was like an Honor Amongst Thieves like book.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know there's like that golden heist one that's come out like recently.
The newest one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I
don't know
agree
if
with
that's
you
a similar
guys, though.
story
I
to this
think
one.
Pyro won't like it.
I
I
don't
mean,
think
if
you'll
you would
like
have asked me before I was talking to you guys, I would have said, "Oh, she's gonna love it." But now that we're talking about it, I'm like, I think I did have my like love goggles on because I was there with my child.
Because
But-
she's quite an observant person, so I feel like
Yes.
she will notice the movie
See,
creative flaws as well.
You say that, but I don't think she's going to notice the fucking cross-eyed bird.
Oh no, she
thing.
might not notice that, but she'll notice
Like-
the piss poor writing and the terrible casting.
It's getting worse. It's fucking... Long we go on, it's just like, I don't like it. Now it's piss poor
Piss
fucking
poor.
writing.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
shit story.
It was just lazy,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It was just
Yeah.
lazy. It was just a money making scheme, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's gonna work because there's hundreds of thousands of people that play the game worldwide that will have all flocked to watch this movie,
Mhm.
and half of them will come out thinking, "What a waste of money."
Well, that's an all right. Nice section. Segue to section 5, Pyro. The X Factor section of the movie review show, which we have to come up with a name for at some point, I suppose. X Factor today is, how do you reckon it's going to take to people who play D&D? Is it going to drive people to give D&D a try? Has it given, a good showing of what D&D is to people who've never played it before? Because I feel like I know the answer to this question, considering how this has gone so far. But not so good. Like not accurate. Like I think there's like enough there that people who've never played D&D before will look at it and go, do you know what? I might give that a try.
Yeah.
I can't remember what game came out or what film came out recently that was a similar sort of thing where it got people to try. I can't remember what it was, but
Stranger Things, I feel like was a
was
big.
it was.
I think that got people really into D&D.
Yeah.
I know that
Maybe it was that. But so if people who haven't played it before, probably do really well for them up to a point where then they start playing it and then going,
Yeah.
it's not as simple as the movie made it look.
Yeah.
I think for both sets of people, so I think for the newer people, they did some of it well for them. Again, as you mentioned, there's a lot that they spoke about that newer people will have no idea about because they've not played the game, and it didn't build on that, so they still have no idea. And again, for people that are very experienced in playing it, it will evoke, I remember when that happened in my campaign 5 years ago. But then they will also think, this was crap.
Okay. Mel?
I think that it would bring people into try, because I think that there is like a kind of a, like, you see like the show on Amazon with the Vox Machina, and like there all that kind of, if that hadn't have laid the groundwork where you have all these other little mini things that are making D&D really popular and accessible now, I don't think it would have worked.
Yeah.
But because of all of the other things that are unrelated to this movie that have been going on that's making it more accessible, I think that it would like make people want to try.
Mhm.
But I don't think that it's I think if the movie had just come out, nobody would be that interested. Yeah, I think it's like with everything else, it's becoming more popular.
Yeah.
But I like
Because
the movie.
To go off those words, if I hadn't played the game and hadn't started playing the game, I probably wouldn't watch the movie.
I don't know.
I
If I
would've,
had
'cause
one
it's
of the
like-
cinema cards, I might have been tempted to just go and watch it. But I don't if I'd never played it, I don't think this would have been what pushed me to play it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I think if this had been done
If this had been
more
done
like
the
a
way
board
they-
game,
yeah,
like as in to the extent like Tiny Tina's the game thing, and they played it as like a proper board, and there were dice shit getting rolled and whatever like that.
Mhm.
Completely took the piss out of what turning Tiny Tina into a D&D game. I think if the movie had been more to that extent, and to the extent where it was doing dice rolls on some shit or whatever, I probably would have then got into D&D more because of that.
yeah.
But I feel like because they just turned it into an action kind of ish movie with not exactly complete writing.
If they'd have taken inspiration from Vox Machina, as you said, took inspiration from that and actually made a proper real life action TV show based on a campaign, they'd have smashed it out of the park and people would be raving about it.
Yeah.
But I guess they make more money from box office, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
This is where like Netflix or Amazon take this up and actually do a proper job with it.
It would
Which
be
would be
cool
great to see.
to like. It kind of makes me sad to think that they're not like that. They weren't like the way it ended to be 100% not planning to make a sequel is a weird
Yeah.
ending. That was
Yeah.
a weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've
Well,
heard that a lot, like where they're like they're absolutely not making another one, and it's like, oh, then why did you even make this one? Like
shows the lack of forefront
yeah.
and future planning. It's just like, okay, we're gonna put a bunch of people in a room and make a movie on this, but there's no plan for what we're gonna do afterwards. If people
No.
like it, then we may make another one.
Mhm.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We could be asked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be sad too if
Yeah.
they did make another one and they didn't like carry on some of these
Yeah.
storylines, or I mean that's what you'd want to. I just feel like you guys were saying, and it's true, where it's like story is such a huge part of a campaign that
Like-
like if you don't
Yeah.
nail that
Yeah.
part, then it's
No.
Yeah.
But if they did another one, like I feel like there's so many storylines that they've left open here that it'd just be a mess in the second one too.
Yeah.
What storyline
like-
would you want to see? Like if they made a like a little mini series, what would be the one you'd want to see from like start to finish?
If it was a mini series, I'd want to see Zenk.
Yeah.
And like where like because he's picking up Forge now, so he's gonna like you have to take him somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
That or you're gonna be torturing the guy to find out. You
Well,
know,
they took
what
him to
else there is for
prison.
the-
Yep.
Yeah, but you know, it's like, you have all this shit with the red things, and then you just go. Boom.
Or like the idea that just this one did this and then you defeat her, so then it's over. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense.
Even
either.
like a Safina miniseries would be cool.
Yeah,
So you
But, like-
I
understand.
want a
fans.
Olga mini series.
I know you do.
I want to see her become a mama.
If like that'd be the way to save this now, would be
She
like
already
do
is.
a mini series for a bunch of the characters, right? Save it like they did the Star Wars stuff, do Rogue One and do all that kind of crap alongside it, and then try and redeem it with the second one. Like,
Yes.
balance out all the characters with their own storylines. Do one for Zenk, do one for Edgin, do one for Holger, do one for Simon and Doric, because their one can be together for a while or whatever. And then when you get to the second one, the only storyline that you have then left is the big bad.
What are they
Yes.
going to do?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The culmination of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big bad who is the Shadow in the first one. Like, what the fuck's going on with him? Because he's going to go for a
Yeah.
second round or something like that.
Yeah.
And everyone has had their stories where they've gotten stronger, they've leveled up,
Yeah.
and everything is like whatever it is. They could come together and do one storyline in that other one. And everyone's then got fleshed out stories, and
Yep.
it's nice, and you can add in little bits here and there. But that'd be the way to save it now.
Which
If
is
they
what
were
they
gonna do
could have
another
done
one.
at the start of the movie. They could have made it, if they'd have made the movie half an hour longer and put 10 minutes at the start of understanding a little bit about each character, and then they came together in said tavern.
Yeah.
When he got them all
Mhm.
together, and then they went from there, it would have been way better.
Which you could have done nicely because, like, you know, D&D is a narrative.
Yeah.
You could have just had, you know, again, you could have had Zenk's voice over the top of it, doing a little narration for who each of the characters were, and yeah.
Yep.
But and like it's weird though saying that, like even if you had added on 10 minutes to the start and 30 minutes to the end or whatever, it wouldn't have felt like a long film.
No.
Like, it's been
It
films
felt
I've
like
sat
a
through that-
short. It felt short
did,
to
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought it was going to be longer than that.
Like,
I
it
mean, I
really-
think we're-
it was really not unenjoyable. It was a decent enough film, even though I'm not like you were not praising it to high heaven or whatever. But you could add on
well,
an
some of
hour
us
to that.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Some of us are. Okay.
It would just put so much more substance to it that it would have
Yeah.
improved it dramatically from an experience level and even
Yeah.
from a filmmaking level. Like if I compare that to the way the writers have done the Last of Us TV show compared to that game,
Yeah.
Jesus, it's like drinking
It's not fair,
£5.
is it?
it's like drinking £5 Tesco wine and
Prime.
yeah, and
Yeah,
£2
so
grand.
like it would have been better probably if it was done completely differently.
Hmm.
Like Netflix picked it up. Like we would have loved it if they didn't do it. And
I
Yeah.
think based
It's a
off this
great idea.
conversation-
Just don't be you to do it, okay?
based off this conversation, if us three wrote it and someone else filmed it, it would have been fucking epic.
Just give us
Yes.
that budget, you know?
yes, yes. Pyro,
Yeah.
honestly. If
Yeah.
she wrote it.
Yeah.
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 We'll start. She can write it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But okay, while we're talking about the end of the film, For those who are going to go see it after this, I don't know how this review has put you onto seeing it,
Go
but
see it. Go see
the
it.
cutscene at the end does not
Most
do
important
justice.
No, we sat
Yes.
there, looked at each other, and thought,
There must be something else.
we.
She said it was important.
Josh even asked the guy when we left. He was like, "Is there a cutscene after the credits?" And he was
You
like,
guys are like,
"I don't know. I've not seen it." Because we were sat there, we're like, "Was that really it?"
And I've never had it before where we've literally been the last people in the fucking screen.
Yeah.
I know there weren't a lot of people in there, but they did the little animated thing where they show off whoever is the actor for who.
Yeah.
And then there's the little cutscene of the guy still alive, and it's like, no one gonna ask me. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's a little bit funny, but like, you look around like, nope, we are the only fuckers left in here for that.
Yeah.
I will say that when I told you to stay for the cutscene, because so we were getting up to leave, and then the guy who was working at the popcorn thing's all, "No, go back. There's a fun little scene." And so we went back and sat back down, and I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like I thought it was cute, it was funny, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
So then that's when I told you. I was like, "Stay for the cutscene. It's great."
Yeah. It was quite.
You got tricked, and you're passing it on to us. This is what you were doing.
You.
Yeah. So what we should do is just delete that last 5 seconds of video and say, right,
everyone stay for the cutscene.
Stay for the cutscene. Fantastic cutscene.
It saves the whole film. It makes everything make sense.
Yeah.
It sets it up for a sequel.
Yeah, they were lying. It's all in the
That's the
cutscene.
storyline we should want to see. Is what happens with him.
That's
Yes.
true. Yeah.
He goes through like a crisis. He has to find a new life.
And Holger has a baby.
And legs.
Yeah.
He has to find legs too.
I want to see Holga's whole story though. I want to see her fall in love and get kicked out of her tribe and what happens because she's such a badass. And then like find this slob of a father and get him sober. And I want to see all of that. Like I loved Holga. Holga for life.
Maybe you should have been Holger.
Yes. Yes. I give off Holga vibes.
Are you into little people?
Sure. I don't discriminate.
Ah, there you go. Nudge loves everybody.
Love them all.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess the final bit is out of 10. How much were we giving it?
Well, I know.
Listening to everything,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like a 6 is about where we're at together. Like, where are you guys scoring?
I feel like I remember us rating it when we left, and on hindsight, I'm lowering my score.
No, so am I. Yeah.
You're lowering it?
Yeah,
I think I started at 7 or 8, and then it's now 6.
yeah, I would say 5.5, 6. Like it's better than average, but it's not good.
I was gonna give
like,
it a 7.
okay.
I'd give it a 7.
All right, so we're not like a million miles apart, 5.5 to 7. So we could say like 6.5.
I think 6. 6 is a good.
5.8.
I think we should. I actually 7. Just 7.
I'm overruling. You get it. Right? It's all right.
6.5 is good.
Yeah. Can we empty all the cheese balls out and just give them the empty packet? Because that's what I felt like after leaving.
Yeah. Take this. You've earned it.
Yeah.
So, go see it if you got time and you're not spending money on it.
Yeah, if you've got a
Okay.
Cineworld
Or
card,
spend lots of money on it.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it more if you spend more money on it and buy dice.
The more money you
and extra
spend, the
stuff
more
out.
happy you'll be.
Yeah, that's the key to life.
Yes.
D&D is now pay to win in real life.
to be fair, it sort of is in game as well.
Yeah, not to be fair.
Do you think that it would have been different if you guys went with like if our whole group went together? Do you think it would have been a different experience?
I think if I'd gone with you, given your excitement levels, I probably would have enjoyed it more. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's more infectious excitement rather than the film.
Yeah, it's not. Wouldn't change the quality. We're just all excited.
No,
We would have
I
had
think walking
tacos.
out, yeah, exactly. Walking out, it would have then been like, an 8 because of the infectious level. But getting to here and doing a review on it, it still would have gone down to 6.
Yeah, it might have gone up to like an 8 or 9 when we got to the pub afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
for the last 2 hours.
I think it still only got to a 7 when we were walking home, is because me and Gary went for Nando's afterwards. I don't know.
Awesome.
Like, okay, so honestly, is yours a 7 because your son went with you to watch it, or is it a 7 anyway?
Wait, what?
Is yours vote of 7? Is it because your son went with you to watch it, or is it because it's a 7 anyway?
I'd say actually, like leaving the theater, I would have given it a 10.
Wow.
Like that's how much I loved it. But talking about it and being like more objective with it, it went down to a 7.
Because I think if I'd have had, say, I'd have went with, I don't know, like my niece or nephew or someone, I feel like they would have made the experience better because they would have been excited. Like kids will love that movie.
Yeah, and my son too, because we play in a campaign together that I DM with him, and so he, the whole time was like we came home and he was jacked up and he wanted to like change his character or create new characters, and he was like, "No, I want to be a druid and I want to be this," and oh my gosh, and he's like looking things up online, trying to find more information about different classes you could be. So like for him, it really did make him want to play more. He became like, I was like, calm down. We got to do other stuff. We can't just get on there right now. Like he was all in.
Okay,
So
well,
the target audience was 10-year-old boys.
To be fair, right, if it does inspire a whole generation of younger kids to get into D&D, maybe it gets an extra point for that.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, maybe it goes up to a 7 for that.
Let's come back in 5 years and see how your son feels about D&D.
Yeah.
And once he's rewatched the movie.
And I don't know if it would have been as impactful if he, like I said, like with the foundation of like, because me and him watch Critical Role together and we play together and we talk about stuff, and so like it is. I don't know if the movie by itself would have made him want to play. It's the fact that he plays already and could see things that he likes in it that made him want to go deeper into it. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's fair.
We're very evolved film watchers over here.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to be told that you're heroes before the start of a film.
Yeah.
Very evolved.
You're a hero.
But if I'd have maybe watched it more as a movie rather than
a D&D.
No, than as because obviously we knew we were going to do this review before I watched it. So I probably paid more attention to stuff that I maybe wouldn't have paid attention to if I wasn't doing that. And I maybe would have watched it more for entertainment purposes rather than knowing that we were going to try and give an opinion based on it afterwards.
See, yeah, but you said that like after we came out, and I genuinely didn't watch it any differently to how I watch a fucking film. I knew we were going to be doing this, and I still didn't prepare for it that differently.
I went into it trying to be critical because I wanted to be like.
You still
critical.
scored 10.
I don't
if you hadn't been given a review afterwards, it'd been 20. Yeah. I want to watch it again right now.
I will be interested to hear what a terrible movie is.
I feel like we should have got your son onto this review as well.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, so we're saying 6 in 5 years' time. If it does well for kids, it might get to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
But definitely go see it because it's awesome.
Yeah. It's worth watching once.
Or twice.
Maybe half of it.
Yeah. So basically what you got review at this review is someone saying it's amazing, someone saying it's okay, it's someone saying don't watch it. So I hope you feel well informed.
What was your favorite part though? What was your favorite part? You had to pick one part.
Fucking hell, yeah. Least.
Never mind.
No, where you first met Doric. And then, they're going to execute that last, and then she bursts out. She's not a horse anymore. She fucking owlbear. She beats the shit out of all of them. That was kind of cool. That was pretty cool.
I would say the piece with the amulet, because in my opinion, that was the best written bit of the entire movie.
Where they save Holger.
Yep.
Yeah, that was quite nice.
Mm-hmm. I liked when she owlbeared and killed, what's her name at the very end? Seraphina,
yeah. Oh,
and she just slams her around.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Hulk moment, like in the Avengers.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah. When a bit she was already dead, and everybody looked over and was like, "Yeah, you can." And then she goes again for another couple just to make sure.
Yeah,
And then she like
Serena
spits up a little bit and she
Yeah.
slams her down. I thought
Yeah.
that was good. And me and
That
my
was
son
cool.
both were like, "Yeah, get her!" So,
Aw.
and I cried when they brought Holga back to life, like sobbed. I was
I bet you
sobbing,
did.
Yeah.
Was your
ugly
son crying?
No, he just went. I knew you were gonna cry.
Aww.
He put his arm around me.
Aww, that's cute.
Bless
So
him.
he brings out tissues. I know
Yeah.
you can do
Here you
it.
go, Mom.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, you two, both, for joining in the first review. D&D, On Among Thieves, in cinemas now. Worth giving it something. No idea what out of all of this, but something.
Buy plenty of snacks, you'll enjoy more.
Yeah. Possibly booze as well. That might, because we didn't have any of that. 6 out of 10. Not bad. Thank you very much, you two, for joining me. No idea what video will be, or film, whatever, we'll be reviewing next time. Maybe we'll do this for TV series too.
Maybe.
But we'll see what happens in the future. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. This was fun.
Yeah. I'm just going to sign this off, and then I'll be back with you both.
Okay.
Right, so thank you guys for joining us for this. Yeah, our first one, dude. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if this was helpful for you, if you're going to go watch it because of this, or if you agree with the comments we made, or if you don't agree. Let us know. If you think we're talking absolute trash, if you agree with Mel and it's worth 10 out of 10 from coming out in the cinema, and 5 years time it goes up to 11, let us know in the comments below. But this is going to be a regular thing we're going to be trying to do on the channel more often. I've been trying to turn this more variety for a little while. Stuff like the vlogs, which I'm hopefully will be posting by now, and stuff like this too in the future. But as I say, be different people popping up in the review stuff. If you want to be in the review, give me a shout and we'll jump you in the future. But otherwise, thank you very much for coming to today's video. Have a great day. Have a great night. Whatever time zone you're in, stay happy, stay positive, stay cheesy, and I will see you guys again very soon. Bye, folks. Lots of love.